Welcome to another edition of Focus on Alternatives, brought to you by ADISA, the Alternative and Direct Investment Securities Association. For more content like this, please visit adisa.org and check out the resource library. My name is Greg Moz. I'm your host today, joined by Heidi Wheatley. She is founder of Sponsor Growth Solutions. Heidi, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Greg.
So, we've known each other a while, and I'm excited about our topic, and it is the challenges and opportunities of sponsors entering the retail channel. So most of the time they're doing this because they've maxed out their current capital sources and they want to scale, they want to go bigger, they have momentum. But what are some of the challenges, or why are these people coming in and scaling in this way?
Sure. So I think, as you mentioned, companies often choose to enter the retail channel because they have access to thousands of broker-dealers and RIAs. And then through each of those firms, they have access to 600,000 some financial advisors and then their network of accredited investors. So it makes sense to have one relationship that results in many sales opportunities to provide them an opportunity to scale at a greater pace.
Right. And financial advisors end up controlling or advising on more money anyway. So it makes complete sense. Can you further unpack that and talk about some of the key benefits of the retail channel?
So for sponsors, as they come into the channel, they have access to, like we had talked about earlier, millions of accredited investors through the network of financial advisors that come through broker-dealers or RIAs. And those firms have an existing infrastructure that the sponsor can benefit from by getting exposure through supporting those educational initiatives, supporting conferences, getting in front of financial advisors so that they can really make a compelling case for their offering. And then if their story is memorable and their product is compelling, that financial advisor can then repeat that story and sell the benefits of that investment or recommend the benefits of that investment to their clients to take a look at a product that has a memorable story and a compelling offering and a reason for that investor to consider adding it to their portfolio.
Right. And there's so many choices out there these days that you can find the right structure to meet the client objective. Mm-hmm. So not all sponsors are really ready for the space. So what are some entry-level qualifications that they need to have before they consider the retail channel?
Sure, that's a great question, and I agree. Not all sponsors are ready. Most think they are. I think a sponsor would need to have a compelling track record, a history of doing what they do, right? They need to have an experienced team. So the broker-dealers, the RIAs, the financial advisors, the investors have faith and faith and confidence that they can deliver on what they've said that they're going to deliver. I think they need to be sufficiently capitalized because this channel, it takes a long time to penetrate and it's expensive. So sponsors that are undercapitalized often struggle. So those are a few things that I think somebody would want to look at in addition to a compelling offering structure. I mean, being at ADISA, you see dozens of really interesting products, but you also see some that look very similar. So how do you stand out? How do you differentiate yourself, your company as a sponsor, and your product to get people's attention so that they want to learn more? Because there are so many options. How do you get somebody's attention? And that's usually with a compelling offering.
And that list that you just gave, it's really the combination of all those. It's not pick and choose, or if I got one, it'll work. No, it's really the combination. And, we've been around the space a while. We've seen sponsors kind of come and go, and we've seen some really make some missteps. Can you articulate some of the common missteps that emerging sponsors should avoid?
Sure. I think one of the most common is thinking that their product is the most attractive and that they're going to show up at a conference like an ADISA or a broker-dealer conference or a due diligence meeting, and they're going to, sponsor or have a presentation, and everybody is going to want to buy their product, and they're going to raise millions of dollars off of one opportunity. Unfortunately, that is absolutely not the case, and it takes time. So I think sponsors need to understand that while they believe that their product is the most attractive, they also have to do the diligence and the legwork to consistently be in front of the due diligence officers, the financial advisors, to help them understand why they should even take a look. Because again, there's so much selection. I think being undercapitalized, so trying to do everything themselves because they don't want to invest in a distribution team. There are no shortages of opportunities to be in this space, to sponsor conferences, provide marketing support, advertising opportunities, to get yourself in front of the audience that you're seeking. The challenge is most sponsors don't have sufficient capital to really maximize those, or they don't understand the channel to understand where they should spend the money and where maybe they shouldn't. So I think it can be a very strategic approach that can fit within a sponsor's budget. But you have to invest in the space or you're not going to get anywhere. A big part of that is them trying to do everything themselves. So they're trying to do what they do best, which is the product. Maybe it's a real estate opportunity and they're really expert at acquiring properties. Well, they're not necessarily experts at raising capital in this channel. So if they're not willing to invest in at least a person that they can utilize to leverage the relationships that they have to kind of get those conversations, get them to the table, they're really doing themselves a disservice.
100% agree. But I think it's not only financial resources, it's also time. From what I see, I mean, you need to be prepared to be constantly telling your story in the space for a 2 to 3 year period in order to get traction. Would you agree with that?
100%. And you have to be willing to be on the road. You have to be willing to take the call, to do the Zoom meeting, to do a road show, as people are still referring to them, but to go around and shake people's hands, because what's important, especially as being a new sponsor, you have to get people to trust you. Like, you need to get a seat at the table, and then you need to earn that trust by continuously showing up and saying the same message. And basically it's simple: do what you say you're going to do. So deliver on the message that you have, and just be present.
So you talked about shaking hands and consistent messaging there, but that's all part of a relationship. And they say that this is a relationship game, a relationship business. Can you unpack that a little bit more?
Sure. So I think with any industry, right, it's who you know. Or with anything, to even trying to get a job, right? It's who you know. And so in this industry, there are folks that have been around a long time, and even folks that have been around just a small amount of time, but have vast relationships. And so as a new sponsor, well, I think one of the things that new sponsors should keep in mind is that they are one of dozens and dozens of products that a due diligence officer is trying to take a look at. So not only are they trying to review new product to serve the needs of the financial advisors and the investors that are part of their firm, but they also have to do diligence on all of the product that was, added to the platform prior. So they have big jobs, and I can only imagine it's overwhelming trying to keep up with it all. So how do they get the attention of somebody that has such a high volume of work and such critical work? Because if a due diligence officer isn't thorough, that could result in approval of a product that doesn't do well or could cause damage to their firm. And so how do you get in front of them and when they're receiving dozens of phone calls a day or a week? So part of that is leveraging the relationships that other people have built so that you can maximize your opportunities, get in front of people, get a seat at the table with people that you need to be talking to, and then little by little continue to reach out, continue the outreach, make time to see them at conferences. If you happen to be in their city, take them to lunch. It's all building that relationship, but you have to get to the table. And often it's an industry professional that can get you to the table because they have that relationship already.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. The volume of opportunities out there is immense. And so these due diligence officers end up listening to their financial advisors, but also, to your point, their trusted relationships on what they should pay attention to, what pre-vetted deals are out there. So yeah, 100% agree. So a new sponsor wants to come into the space. They don't want to make a bunch of mistakes. What resources are out there so that they can learn more about the retail channel and what an effective offering looks like?
Sure. I mean, ADISA is a great resource, right? So you've got a network of folks that have been in this channel for a long time. You can reach out to the ADISA team. The website also lists resources. There's also a directory on the ADISA website, so you can go through and you can find member firms that are offering the services you need, everything from securities attorneys to third-party due diligence to transfer agents to managing broker-dealers. I mean, you name it, you can find it. The ADISA team is a great resource. They can, again, it's relationships, so they can help you get connections to the folks that are going to be best suited for you. The website has a slew of resources as well, including a glossary. So much of coming into this industry is like learning a new language, and some of it just doesn't, it's not intuitive. So it's helpful to kind of take a look at that and make sure that you understand what people are coming at you with. In addition to that, there's the third-party due diligence firms. Again, there's lists on the ADISA website. You can certainly ask the team, but they have connections that can put you in touch additionally with industry resources that they've worked with and that they know are proven. The third-party due diligence firms and the securities attorneys are also a fantastic resource to take a look at your offering and give you compelling feedback on how you stack up to what's already out there and how you can differentiate. So those are some resources that I would encourage new sponsors that are considering moving into this industry to take advantage of.
Yeah, and to build on that, I mean, the third-party firms, the attorneys, the managing broker dealers, and then there's some just consultants out there that help. If you get in touch or a sponsor gets in touch with any of those people, they all know all the other people that are in this space and that are working with emerging sponsors and can get you connected. I find it overall a very friendly environment to at least engage with and learn from. And then a sponsor really just needs to be honest if they meet the qualifications and they have the right mindset for the space.
I agree. And I especially want to emphasize your point about being friendly. Like, I am constantly amazed knowing how busy the folks in this industry are, that the time that they'll make to talk to a new sponsor and give them valuable feedback without getting paid, right? Like, it's just a value add. Like, let me try to help you. The industry is incredibly helpful and wants new sponsors, right? We want to have things that are fresh to talk about. So I think that the facilitation of bringing new sponsors in is definitely a team effort. It takes a village, if you will.
Yeah, again, completely agree. Heidi, thanks for taking the time and walking us through that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Greg.
And thank you for watching another edition of Focus on Alternatives. Again, for more information, please visit adisa.org. Thank you.